welcome to Uneducated Opinions podcast number 3. I'm your co-host Steve,
I'm Andy.
and we're rolling.
Cool. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
You don't want to tell them what Uneducated Opinions is about?
No, you can do that.
Alright, guys, so when you're in a bar, having a few drinks, playing some pool, you often get into some fun conversations. Most of the time, you talk about everything and nothing all at the same time.
Yep.
And almost 100% of the time, you have no idea whether what you're spilling out is truth.
Yep.
And that's what this podcast is about. Just two guys drinking beers and talking.
Yep. If you're watching it, you probably noticed we're in a slightly different area than we normally are, or than we have been the first 2 times. Weather permitting, we're going to try and be outside, I think, as often as possible. But given the bug and sun situation that we're experiencing at the moment, we might see how that ends up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we basically just hiked like 10 Ks to get to this position here.
Yeah.
It was arduous. We had to keep these beers cold, which was really difficult.
Carrying that much ice was hard.
Yeah. And it was a real challenge. So I hope you guys appreciate it. What?
Cool.
Do you want to crack open these beers?
Yeah. So, as we were leaving Andy's place this morning, we grabbed a couple of Furfies out of the fridge. So, the first 2 weeks we did Swindler from James Squire, and then last week we did... What did we do last week? Peronis. We did Peronis last week. So, this week we're going with a Furfy. Furfy seems to be coming onto the market pretty strong, like with especially people around my age. I know everyone's grabbing a schooner of Furfy at the pub.
Really?
Hmm.
Interesting. Oh, no.
No, you're good.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
Yeah, I really like Furfy, the brand. The beer, however, is not something that I like very much.
No?
No, it's just like really hoppy, if I remember. Hold on, let me taste it first and I'll tell you.
It is very hoppy.
I don't mind it today. In the past, I think if I'm drinking something like a lot, I'm not going to like it as much.
Mm.
There's beers we did that first day, they went down so easy. But then this is going down easy too, because, I've worked all morning.
Mm.
It's like 11 o'clock.
We both also just walked a long way, so
Yep. We did that
feeling
10K walk.
feeling a refreshing ale. I don't know. There is. See, this is where our uneducated.
Oh, look, a shooting star.
Oh, it is too.
That's definitely not a shooting
No,
star.
there's a plane flying past.
I was hoping you picked that up straight away. Told me no, that's incorrect.
I think I said last week that I was going to actually look some stuff up, but I didn't at all.
About beers?
Yeah, even a little bit, which I think you're right. It's probably maybe a better way to do it, so it remains uneducated. So you know how we were worried about fucking bugs?
Bugs?
Yeah, I'm now worried about
Are you sitting on an
ants.
ant's nest?
Yes, I am.
Ah, well, unfortunately we can't move, so this is you're just going to have to deal. But yeah, there are a lot of bugs. I'm not sure I like nature.
Yeah, that fucking hurt.
Nature is a bit of a cruel mistress, if I like to think about it. She's always not had my back.
Not had your back, no?
Whereas the indoors has always looked after me.
That's nice, safe surrounding.
Yep. I hope you guys also appreciate, for those watching, appreciate my headgear that I made on the spot. I didn't know we were going to be outside. I kind of knew, but...
Maybe by the fact that we organised to go outside for the
Yeah,
podcast.
I mean, I should have known, but I did not plan ahead. And it's getting warm, dude.
Yeah, it's good. We're on our way into summer.
I like
Start
that.
of spring. It's good.
This is probably nice weather. In actual summer, there's no way we can do this outside.
Well, we could if we weren't little bitches. Those
Yep.
ants are really starting to bug me.
Yeah, but they're not... The ants are starting to bug you.
Yeah.
The bugs are bugging you. I like it. They're not that close to you. If they get closer, I'll tell you. I'll keep an eye on them for you.
Thank
Just
you.
don't put your... There's an ant on your butt.
Is there?
Yeah, like right here. Sorry, on you. Fuck off.
Yeah, right.
Well, don't flick them my way. I don't want them near me. Anyway, back to these beers, because people are tuning in to
Listen to
hear,
the beer.
Hear our opinions on these beers. They don't
Yep.
care about bugs. They don't care about, nature killing us.
No.
Us braving the wild.
On a note off the beer though, what are the kinds of ants that actually hurt? Because those ones hurt. Like, you know how you have the little black ants that everyone knows are fine, like they don't really bite. Then you have like big ass bull ants, like with the ones with the big orange ass.
Yeah.
and everyone knows to steer clear of those ones. But those ones are somewhere in between the two, and I can tell you that they hurt.
Yeah, I mean, my advice would be to stay away from them.
Like you're not the one sitting in the ant's nest there.
Yeah, my expert opinion. But
who knows?
Who knows what really happens when you might get bitten, get superpowers.
Maybe.
That'd be the dream.
I've watched enough TV to know what can happen.
Do you want superpowers? Do you think you can handle that kind of pressure?
That kind of power?
Yeah.
That kind of responsibility? Yeah, I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you watched The Boys?
No.
So The Boys is this new TV show on Amazon Prime. So if you have Netflix, it's not on there. If you have Stan, it's not on there. It's on Amazon Prime. So that's just another subscription you'll have to buy if you want to watch this show. But this show is amazing. Because you have to imagine that, yes, if you get superpowers, you're going to be...
Super.
you're going to be a hero. That's what you like to think.
Yep.
But really, like, how easy is it to make just a little slip? You know? Oh, I could, make a little bit of money doing this. I could maybe, not save this person because it would help me out.
I've got to say, just because I got superpowers does not necessarily mean I wanted to be a hero.
Yes. But that's what this TV show is about. And it's really cool because it explores what would happen probably in real life if real people got superpowers. Not these Superman was raised by the two greatest people in the world and that's why he's like the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. What would happen if you were raised not the best? What if you were raised...
Well, this is not really along those lines too much, but you remember watching that movie Jump Up?
Yeah.
Years and years ago? I remember watching
with
that...
Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the worst actor in the world.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
He was terrible as Anakin Skywalker.
No, he was not. If you go back and watch that, like when I used to watch that movie, I used to think to myself, if I could do that, I would 100% be like teleporting into banks and stocking up on cash and never working a day in my life. I still look back on that and that is exactly how I'd be living my life.
Yeah. Setting up, a base on top of the Sphinx or whatever he was.
100%.
Huh. I would do that too. Actually, no, I don't know. I like to think that because I'm really into superheroes, so I would like to think that I'd be a good guy.
Well, do you think that... Do you think that, so going a little bit like, not really Robin Hood because you're not giving to the poor, but like stealing from...
Well, I'm not well off.
No,
so
but
I'd be stealing from people and giving to me.
That's true, that's fair. But are you stealing from like big corporations like the bank or like the banks and stuff? Do you see that as being like as wrong as other things?
I don't know. What is evil really?
I don't know.
Because that's the question you're asking.
That's the thing. Like if someone says to me, "Oh yeah, I've dodged whatever tax, or I've like managed to get this much money by scamming the system a little bit," I'm like, yeah, okay. Like it's a system that overpays a very small percentage of the world, so I'm more than happy for you to get away with that. It doesn't really bother me. If you were stealing from people that are already on struggle street, then I see that as being much worse.
Yes. But just because someone has more than you doesn't mean that you're entitled to take it.
No, but I think
that's how tax works. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not saying, you bugger. I'm not saying that I think it should be like a...
Sorry, I was meant to be on head wash, but I got distracted by Superman talk.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you should be allowed to steal from anyone. But what I'm saying is, like, I think the crime is significantly less when taking from that sort of thing. Like from big corporation. Because I think big corporation is built on, like, screwing over the less fortunate.
Yeah, I guess. But, not really. I don't know. I have no idea what we're talking about. No. Yes, look, it depends. If it's like a big corporation and it's owned by one person, so if it's like Jeff Bezos, he owns Amazon and everything else, apparently he's the richest man in
the world.
Oh, well, the world, is he?
No, I don't think so.
He's the richest man in America or something. And if he is like taking, well, if he's just being himself, then he's not really adding value to the world on a scale that is important, right? But then Bill Gates didn't do that, and now he does it. So you could like save up that goodwill and do it later. There's that argument as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
did you see that statement that interview that Bill Gates did, where he basically said like he wasn't going to leave money for his kids?
yeah,
Like, no, they need to figure it out.
yeah, that's fair for him.
For him, yeah.
I mean, if I was his kids, I'd be like, Dad, early grave for you.
Yeah. Before you have a chance to sign that will off.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just write this one up, forge your signature, make sure all the lawyers are in on it, and
Yeah, well, there's certainly enough money to give the lawyers a couple of million each.
bye bye, Billiam Gates. I
Wow.
assume that's what his name is short for.
Billion. I thought it was billion.
Billiam Gates.
Billion Gates. Yeah. How much is he worth?
I don't know.
No idea.
No idea.
An astronomical amount.
Who is the richest person in the world? Is it Bezos?
It was Bill Gates for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it still is though. It might be Bezos.
I'd be curious. I wish we did research before we did this podcast.
No.
You don't?
No, it's too much effort.
I worry a little bit that this nice breeze is going to really affect the video quality.
Will it pick up much on the lapels as well? No.
The lapels will be fine.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah.
No one's watching it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted you to know that that's going to be
That's okay. The first 5 minutes of this podcast was spent with me asking you about ants because they were biting me. So
I wish
okay.
I had more information to give you about ants too, but I really don't.
Mm.
Don't know much about ants.
So, to segue to a completely unrelated topic, I was scrolling through Instagram this morning and saw just the headline from like what that satirical paper, Batuta, that they did, and the headline was like should we be piss testing people on Centrelink or on like youth allowance? People on youth allowance. And I don't actually know. Generally when Batuta does an article, it's because of something that's happening in relevant times. So I don't know whether if that's actually something that was proposed. That's how uneducated I am about the topic. But I thought it would be an interesting thing to discuss, whether if you think that piss testing, like you only are entitled to your youth allowance or your Centrelink pay if you pass a monthly drug test.
So when you say piss testing, are you're not testing for alcohol or
No.
just
testing for
like
illicit substances.
explicit substances.
Explicit, yeah. Illicit substances.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Because the reason that you are on any sort of benefit is to help further integrate you
Into society.
As to being like someone who is contributing to society, right?
Yeah.
And if you are
if you're spending that
money in an inappropriate way. So I've got two things for this. If you're spending money in an inappropriate way and you're not adding value to society, then that's not very good, because it's just meant to give you a leg up. But at the same time, like, are we meant to be a nanny state? Are we meant to police every single little thing that someone does? Like, I am fully for the decriminalization of
Anything?
drugs
Altogether?
altogether. Tax them at a high rate. It'll vastly improve the quality of them, which is good for people that might be into drugs. And it's a safety thing as well. And then there are better ways for people to do drugs too, and that's been shown all over the world.
Particularly in Europe and that sort of thing.
Yeah, in Europe and stuff, where they did that with, I think they did that with heroin, where they put up clinics all over the place. And
Do you mean the methadone clinics we have aren't good enough?
yeah, they're not. They really are. You know, it's got to be administered with love, not with this like
A blind needle.
yeah. We have to be, trying to help people, because they are very addictive substances. I'm not saying that they're not bad for you. I just don't think they should be illegal and criminalized.
Well, I suppose if to the point where we've got alcohol and cigarettes and stuff that are still accessible as well,
And they're so much worse, right?
then a lot of drugs, yeah.
And a lot of
sure.
drugs. I mean, I definitely think marijuana needs to be decriminalized. I don't think we've talked about this in the past. Maybe not on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I think
Maybe on another podcast.
I think that's well on its way to being decriminalised. That's okay. Andy does another podcast. It's called the Raw Barbell Club Podcast.
I was going to say, we've never named it before. We just always bring it up.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's been named now. So you go follow Andy there.
Yeah, what do you think?
This is one of those things where I really like to be able to argue both sides of the coin.
That's what I did just then.
Yeah, so I've got pretty much the exact same views as you. I think in a society where we are looking towards, I guess, trying to bring people into the community and trying to get them to contribute to the community, I think if they're using the money that they're being given to participate in illegal activities, whether if I agree with it being illegal or not, it is still illegal, and therefore having a negative contribution to society at that point in time. Especially when if you look at the bigger picture, and let's say that they're getting involved with, well, not even getting involved, but they're buying drugs off low-level runners for bigger corporations like bikie gangs and that sort of thing, like bigger groups, then that's just that's funding like a criminal enterprise as well.
Yeah.
Which, even if you don't necessarily agree that what they're selling should be illegal, they're also doing other things that I think most people would agree should be illegal.
Yeah.
In terms of like assaults and breaking and entering and that sort of thing. But then there's the other side of the coin where I don't necessarily agree that drugs should be illegal at all anyway.
Well, I mean, see, unfortunately that wasn't your question though, so I thought it kind of like didn't answer it well.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah,
So
I think from the way the question was asked, it definitely needs to be.
Well, no, like the other thing is like, are you a nanny state? Are you like, just because someone uses things in a way that you didn't expect them to do it, doesn't mean that you have the right to police that. You have a right to police the crime of buying drugs, but do you have the right to just be like, hey, you're not...
Yeah, I think you kind of do, because I think the reason why it's being
What
given...
if the money that they're using on drugs is not the money that they got? Let's say you get $50, but you also get $50 from somewhere else and use that $50 to buy the drugs. Is like, I understand that it's a cumulative effect that you're going for, but like, it's not the same money that you got that you used for the drugs. Do you have the right to take that money away?
Yeah, but are taxpayers funding that money that you're not using because you have an inability to buy the other things that you need without it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're making that money elsewhere and the money you're making elsewhere is being used for drugs, and that's why you can't afford to buy stuff, then why are taxpayers giving their hard-earned money to you so that you can buy the things that you need with the money that you didn't use for drugs?
Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. And like I said, like, I don't know either way. I'm just telling you what is going through my head.
For sure. Yeah.
Which is not right either way or wrong either way.
I don't necessarily agree or disagree with payments either, but I do have and it's probably because of obviously like the family and stuff that I come from, and like we're upper middle class, so that's like the opinions that have been formed through my upbringing. But
I mean, you're also like an entitled white male, so
yeah, for sure, exactly. But I do take issue with people that expect without putting in anything.
Yeah. And, I guess I come from kind of the other side, because my mum is like, that's the background that she comes from. Like, she works in that side of work. Like, that's her job. She works at Centrelink for New South Wales Health and all of that.
But I don't like the fact that there are people that are able to scam the system to a point where they don't have to work.
For sure.
And they don't feel any drive to work. They just scam the system.
And I've met people like that,
and
they do make me, like, I just find people with no ambition quite useless.
Yeah. But you're sitting there do you not sit there and think to yourself, why am I giving up between 15 and 30% of the money that I make every year so that you can do nothing?
Yeah.
Like, I think
that would go through my head.
That's things that have been spoken about a fair few times on like Rogan and stuff, when he had, I can't remember the guy that talks about universal basic income, saying that like it's all good to want an equality of outcome, but there's never going to be an equality of input from people as well.
Yeah, and you know what? There are, like, for society to flourish, there has to be losers, there has to be winners, right? We're not all equal. I think that's pretty.
But I think everyone should. I think that everyone should be able to contribute within their means.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unrealistic to think that everyone can contribute in some way to society.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I also think that it's also.
But their input is never going to be equal.
I'm not saying it has to be equal, but it can be equal to your means.
Yes.
Like you may be able to input more into society than I can, but as long as I'm still inputting what I am able to input, I think that's fine. Like, because there's always going to be a scale with.
Yeah, but like your level of ambition might be different to my level of ambition, and if we're putting everything on a scale, then it's not just like my ability to work or my ability to create or my ability to think. It could also just be my ability to actually work. Like, maybe I do have a lower threshold for work than you do. Like, I can only do half an hour at a time and then I'm done. Like, just because you see that as laziness.
But that's part of on the scale, isn't it?
Yeah, so
that's
like you see that as laziness, but maybe for me, I just see that as the way I want to live my life. And
you think people should be free to live life the way they want to?
Yeah, as well. And again, like, that's not saying that if someone was like super late, like I told you at the start, like if I see someone who's super lazy, that like makes me angry. Like I don't like seeing that. I think like, why are you wasting your time?
Yeah.
But they might just apply themselves in different ways. It's like you probably coach people. Like, so you're a CrossFit coach. You might coach someone who comes in. You're like, why are you even here? Like, you don't try. Your technique isn't better than yesterday. Like,
all the time.
What's even going through your head? Like, surely you'd have better time if you just went to F45.
Where everyone's shit, just like you.
And then, like, if you talk to them, you might find that the reason they're there is because of you. Like, they just clear half an hour because for some reason they think that you don't actually judge them. It's an hour where they don't feel like a loser, and yes, they're not doing what they are really good at, what we seem to excel at, which is like gym work. But they might actually just be alright there. So like, you're just seeing them at their lowest point. And they might be...
Inability level, you mean?
Yeah, inability level. And they might be at their highest point somewhere else.
I think that's... Do you have a way of relating that to a like grander scale other than like inside the gym?
Yeah, okay, so...
Like, give me a good example, because you say that and I think to myself, because I come from that environment, I'm like, exercise and like gym work is, from a coaching point of view, about benefiting people, right? So it's about benefiting someone when they come in. So whether if I'm benefiting them by helping them to lose weight, or I'm benefiting them psychosocially by giving them someone to talk to and someone to hang out with, I see that either way is a benefit. If I just had someone come in that did nothing and sat in the corner, didn't associate with anyone, and if I really struggled to see what they're doing there and how they're getting any benefit from it, then that would give me the shits more than mum who comes in and doesn't get her heart rate above 90.
A mum or your mum?
A mum. A mum who comes in and doesn't get
your mum kills it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you bring her up.
A mum that doesn't get a heart rate above 90 but enjoys having a chat with the other mums in there. Like, I can see the benefit between forming a community and breaking down some social barriers with people as well.
Yeah, okay. I get that. Let's take... What's good? What would you be like if you never found fitness? What would you be doing with your life?
With trade?
A trade. And how long do you think you could be in a trade for before you burn out? Or before you're like, fuck, this isn't what I want to do. I want to do something else. And you can keep going from trade to trade, from job to job, never finding your true passion. And that can weigh on you to a point where you're like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I'm just gonna do the bare minimum. I can get a little bit of income from Centrelink and maybe show that I'm looking for jobs and put a couple of resumes here and there, but really, I don't know. I just want to
Chill out.
be at home and watch TV because I don't know what I want to do. I haven't found the thing I like. You're weary with the world around you because you haven't been able to experience something that
I'm not
excites you
sure.
enough to do it.
I'm not sure that I can put myself in that headspace because I don't really think that that's a position that I could ever get to.
Yeah, and I get
Where
that
I
too.
don't want to. Where I don't want to do anything. Does that make sense?
And I
Like
get
I'm
that
always
too,
going to
but-
want to do something.
Yeah. I'm just giving you an example that may happen, may not happen for some people. It's hard to put yourself in.
But
the
then
headspace of something.
are people who maybe get themselves in that position that you just like are those people maybe like a depressive state that they need
It could be
and they need help from another position rather than just being and this is where
financially, like giving them help.
yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
Yeah, you're probably exactly right.
Is there maybe two?
So what you're really asking for, is there a better option than just...
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is there? Well, I feel like we've gone a long way away from people that's past business.
That's about the way this podcast goes.
Yeah.
Man, this wind has really picked up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of those trees over there, down here, 10 k's in the Blue Mountains, that are really swaying around.
Crazy. The sky is so blue. Now, but obviously what's considered a bushfire hazard right behind us.
Yeah.
I just can't believe we found a little bit of grass in this forest that we're in. It's ridiculous. It's almost like this was...
I hope they can't see the houses back there.
What houses? I think I see the Three Sisters over there.
Something that I was going to suggest to you earlier when you then told me to stop talking, so that we didn't run out of things to talk about on here, was when I was listening to a podcast this morning. They were talking about the history of comedy.
Yeah. This is the Bill Burr.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I thought of like a funny little business idea. Neither of us could do it because neither of us are funny enough. But when they were talking about how a show like what we now see on television used to be like a cart of travelling actors that would come into a town, you'd pay your 10 cents or whatever to go and watch this show that would open up from the back of a van.
Yep.
And they'd perform. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be a funny idea if you got like a group of 3 or 4 comedians together that just literally travelled town to town in the back of a van and opened up and did like a 30-minute set each for a 2-hour show? And
That's
you just,
literally what people do.
they
That's
still
what
do that?
comedians do.
no, they don't. They go to clubs and
When
stuff.
comedians go on tour,
Yeah, but they go to
oftentimes
clubs
will
and
do
stuff.
that. Yeah, but like they'll just the only difference is they pre-book. So like you can buy tickets in advance.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a market to do it in the way
Like
that like
impromptu?
No, a market to do it. Yeah, well, yeah, but
Like
also
a busker?
no, not like a busker. Like a market to do it in, like advertise it as
Like a
how it would have been when it was before TV, when they used to do those shows like that, like someone travelling in a car, and that could be part of the whole spectacle of the show, right?
Do you understand how hard it is to get people out of their houses now? They're all on Centrelink. They ain't coming out. They got that $9.50 Netflix subscription. I don't know if it's that much.
Would you feel
Like, that's all they need to spend money on. They can see Rogan on there. They're not going to pay to leave the house and do that.
would you pay? Would you if you qualified for Centrelink payments? Would you apply for them? Take them?
I think I do qualify for Centrelink payments.
And you don't apply for them?
I don't, but only because I
Too lazy to
it's
do it.
yeah. Just like someone is too lazy to get a job, I'm too lazy to
See,
fill out
this is
some
where I
forms.
become a massive hypocrite because I probably would as well. And I'm like,
You would get them, or you would
I would take them. Yeah.
take them, yeah.
I would take them.
Yeah. And like you're not
And I would-
financially in a way that
I need it,
you need it, right?
and I would justify it from a point of view of like, me taking it isn't going to make that much difference. It's all coming out of the And I would also look at it in because we're in such an economic, because the economy is in such a good way at the moment. 60 cents to the American dollar at the moment.
Ridiculous. I think, wow. I think we're actually 70 cents now.
We were 60 cents the other day.
Damn, that's really
It was
bad.
we got to the lowest we've been in 20 years, I think.
Far out, that's terrible.
Well, from someone that has no idea what I'm talking about, I don't really understand
How it works?
how it works.
Do you understand how inflation works?
Yeah, as in the growing price of the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's inflation at 3%?
Like, do you understand like why the price of money has to go down all the time?
No. Are you going to explain it to me? Yeah. It's probably not that interesting to talk about on here.
Oh, it's pretty interesting. Like, do you know what happened in like Greece and stuff, or in
No. I'm not good with economy.
Zimbabwe and all those places?
No.
So I feel like I'm gonna butcher this.
That's okay. It's an uneducated opinion.
Okay. God, I gotta think back to some old school economics. So you obviously understand like supply demand.
Yes.
That it's on a curve.
Yep.
So as supply goes up, generally demand goes down.
Yep.
Right? So it's the same thing with money. And you can get to a stage where like supply of your currency is so much that like you're printing extra money and that money is actually worthless. And that's what's happened in like a lot of countries.
So is that like when you get to like what's that saying? Like when you get into when a country's in a deep recession, and the saying is like not cash is king, but like money like is no longer like worth anything. Like it's not tradable anymore.
Yeah, that's 100% it. So when you're in a recession, what happens is the money, like your physical money, is not worth the price of bread. So you can get to a stage where, like, let's say normal, like, how much does a loaf of bread cost us? Yeah. Well, what type of bread do you buy? Like, that seems expensive.
No, it's not
Isn't it
expensive.
like sourdough whole grain with like cob loaf in it already? Like, I don't know.
Well, I remember looking at a graph a little while ago on a graph that was explaining inflation and used like the price of bread as an example to say that like in 30 years bread will quite likely be up towards the like $30 a loaf mark.
And then so like you're judging things by the price of bread, right?
Yeah.
So like when I was saying like $4.50 is bread, but the price of bread might go up to $10.
Yeah.
That's actually the supply demand curve for bread itself.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that loaf of bread, instead of being like $10, is that the price of money is so worthless that that's gone down.
Yeah.
That $4.50 no longer buys you money. And it's like flipping the switch in your head to make sense of that.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on.
So it's the price of money that changes it.
Yeah, the price of money that changes. So it's different. Let's say if we have
So with general inflation, a loaf of bread is no longer worth $4.50. It's now worth $10. But that's because what was $4.50 in money's sake is now $10.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. But it's when it gets all the way up to that supply of bread is worth $10, but money's then dropping into a recession. That's when it's no longer price of bread. Right?
Recession is the money is actually like increasing.
So there's too much supply of money and not enough.
Basically. I mean, like that's a really simplistic way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's an economist.
Listening.
But there'll be someone that is smarter than I listening to it, and they'll be able to like point out flaws in what I've said. But I think that's my understanding of it from my
reasonably educated opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like I literally went to university for this stuff, and I can't remember a thing. So it's been so long. If only I didn't go to university and then decide to open a gym instead.
Yeah. But I think doing the degree that you did at university helped you with opening a gym, right?
Probably.
Maybe.
A little bit. Could have gone to gym school instead.
But you didn't. did business school,
Silly.
which might help with running a business.
You'd think that. You'd also have to be like not lazy.
Do you think you're lazy?
Yeah.
Same.
You think I'm lazy or you think you're lazy? Oh no, my beer.
Both. How have you not finished that yet?
I've just been sipping on it.
I've had one beer and I'm looking around going, maybe we should have
I
bought two beers.
yeah, I know. I also thought that too. But we never really talked about the rest of the beer.
The Furphy. Well, I can tell you there's brewed in Victoria.
Yep.
In Geelong, actually. I think. Yep, Geelong.
Strong Geelong.
Strong Geelong. Yep. It's a hoppier beer than usual. Do you think that this is this is a good question. Do you think that this Furphy is a darker beer or a lighter beer?
From looking at it?
No, I don't think it's gonna help.
Yeah, it does help. I think it is a dark beer. But it is like, what is it, like definitely hoppier than the beers we've had in the past.
Yep.
But it did go down well today. Oh, this was born at the Little Creatures Brewery?
Furphy's Little Creatures, is it?
Yeah, it says born at the Little Creatures Brewery. Smooth, crisp ale goes down a treat when you're spinning yards with mates. Hey, this is literally what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Spinning yards with mates.
Do you have you had many Little Creatures?
No.
No. Their IPA is really nice.
Yeah, I don't like Indian Pale Ales.
Well, something wrong with you.
Well, I thought I didn't. And
I
then-
think you will.
Yeah,
Now,
I also think I will.
I think it's starting to grow on you. We should, just for the sake of trying something that I, as general, don't like, is get some dark beers in as well.
like 2 years old.
Like 2 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like they're not a beer to drink at like this time of the day. I mean, I guess we probably shouldn't be drinking at this time of the day.
No.
It is 9 o'clock in the morning. Man,
It's also
that
not.
6 a.m. hike was hard.
It's also not a beer to drink in the middle of summer either. It's
Yes.
more a winter beer sitting around the fire,
Definitely.
right?
But if we do like fire night, sometimes good. Damn, I wish you would come to Dubbo. That would have been fun.
So do I actually. That would have been fun. Maybe I can still wrangle it. When are you leaving tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Or next time. I'm sure I'll go out there again. Like, how much can you learn in one day? Surely they'll get me out again.
You have to actually teach them something.
Yes.
How do you reckon this wind is going?
Yeah, see, like, I'm really worried about it because I can feel it against my chest.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that the sound quality is not going to be very good. We had 40 minutes, so I thought we'd just, like...
Wrap it.
Oh, you want to wrap it now?
We can just wrap it now
And just see?
and just see how it goes.
Yeah, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
I was really happy with that. That was a pretty fun conversation.
Yeah.
Guys, where can they find us?
Guys, you can find my personal account, Steve Norman 250, and Andy's
Train with Andy?
Train with Andy on Instagram. You can follow Andy's gym as well, Raw Barbell Club on Instagram, and I think all the other stuff as well. It's the same. If you're watching us on YouTube, which you should be, then all of our handles and stuff will already be in there in a link in the bio. A link down the bottom in the comment section. You can follow us on Instagram, Uneducated Opinions, Facebook, The Uneducated Opinions, and I think that's about it.
Oh, and guys, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you click that subscribe button as well as the notification tab. That way you see when the next episode is up. And that's really important. The more people that subscribe and follow us is, it means that we're not just speaking to that one economist that's listening.
Yeah, but hopefully that one economist